Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season. We're going short track racing at the half-mile Martinsville paperclip. Qualified on the inside lane, which is always good at Martinsville. The bottom will roll. We're right there behind the 22 of Joey Logano. A pretty decent starting spot for us. And actually, this race, fuel mileage will not be a factor. We can go 60 laps on gas. Green flag is in the air, and I don't think tires are going to be that far off for us to need to pit. So no pit stops this time around. We'll see what the AI does. We'll stay right under Brandon there. Ooh, he's a little tail happy there in that high lane. I'm going to sort of give him an opening, see if he can get down in there. Oh, little loose off corner exit there. On new tires, especially with all the power coming into the car with those very low gear ratios, the rear tires spin like crazy. Not a whole lot of movement here in front. Brandon looks to the inside of the 22. He'll be 3 wide there, hugging the curb. He goes up a little bit of a rub into Joey Logano, up into the 88 of Alex Bowman. If Brandon can open up those holes, we can follow him through. We want to be extremely careful, though. Those cars behind us really don't mess around. They'll try to stick their nose in there and have a position on us. Let's work on the 88 of Alex Bowman right on the back bumper of Brandon here. And we'll get off the turn a little shoddy, but we should get under the 22 here. Brandon sets his sights on the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. And once he gets around him, we'll set our sights on the leaders. Now the leaders are going to break away, single file, and run some pretty quick laps. So the longer we're side by side, the worse off we're going to be. Brandon shuts the door on the 78. He has some trouble getting off the corner. That will allow us to take the position for Martin Truex as well. I don't imagine Martin would appreciate that too much. Car is starting to really slide around here. We finally, nope, I thought we cleared him. A little touch in Martin Truex Jr. His nose was right up there. Unfortunately for Martin, good for us though. We have cleared Martin Truex. We can set our sights now already on lap 6. 50 laps will go by here at Martinsville very quickly, despite any cautions, however, and cautions are always going to be a worry here at a short track, especially cars running this close together. Sticking noses on corner entry, you know, a lot of chopping going on. And plus, when lap traffic comes a thing, because the field starts half a lap down at the start of the race, so when the leaders broke away, they're really going to start catching those lap cars. It'll be a question of when the cautions come out on whether or not we can get to any lap traffic, but as we can see, we're clicking off laps pretty quickly in the 21-second range, only a tenth off of our fastest lap of the race, so tires are not giving up. We're just sort of minding our business here to get to the 1/5 point of the race at lap 10. It's a little bit less of a worry not having to pit. We just have to make sure that track position is held and nothing bad happens to us. As far as bringing out the caution, being the caution is not what we want to do here. We want to wait for cautions to happen. Unfortunately, when cautions happen, though, the laps click by. We can't do really anything about it. Although the leaders are looking pretty stout, it's not like I think we have a car that can really get up and challenge. Although Brandon and I are catching that 42 of Kyle Larson, especially if Kyle starts to look to the inside of the car in front of him. That'll slow them both up and we'll be able to catch him really, really quickly. And it does look like we're running a little better lap times than Kyle Larson for sure. Really close. In fact, that was our fastest lap of the race. Now that we've gotten some pretty clean track, we can go as fast as the car will let us, and lap traffic is starting to get into the picture here, so the leaders will have to navigate that lap traffic, and if they get bogged down, that will be our chance to pounce. Car wanted to drift up just a little bit there. Already on lap 12, Brandon trying to get his nose in there on the 42 of Kyle Larson. Let's see if he can get him inside turn 3. Now, I don't think we're close enough to take advantage of that unless Brandon holds up Kyle for a little bit more. Doesn't look like Brandon's going to clear Kyle, so we can gain on Kyle a really big bit here. Yeah, as long as Brandon can keep Larson pinned to the high lane, we'll be able to roll the bottom and get under him right here. Let's try on the inside of turn 3. We'll get a fender up to Larson. Brandon hits that curb just a bit, slides the nose. Well, I thought we might be able to get a run on Brandon, but he was able to get the power down once he got straight, and forcing Kyle Larson a little bit up the groove. Kyle is way out of the groove there. Just trying to complete this pass, Kyle Larson. Ooh. So Brandon checked up just a bit there. That threw our line off. There goes Daniel Suarez down the inside. We had to make an evasive move to not hit Brandon. So Suarez gets by us, Brandon gets by Larson. Now if Suarez can do the same thing to Larson. Oh, there's a cloud. Oh, that was from when I locked up the brakes. Yep, there's my right front skid mark just going off into turn 3. That's not going to do good for the tire wear, that is for sure. But I don't think that's going to change our approach to pit road as far as not coming down. I do like the fact that Suarez is holding up Larson here, although that right front might be a little bit warm, might be giving up here. But lap traffic is definitely a thing. All of these cars trying to go a lap, stay on the lead lap, being put a lap down. Brandon going 3 wide into the turn. That may do better for us around the 00 of Jeffrey Earnhardt. And with these guys struggling, and it looks like a rolling roadblock, we should be able to catch right back up to them, no problem here. The question is navigating this lap traffic. Do we stick to the bottom with Larson, or do we go up top with Suarez? And yellow flag is out, ladies and gentlemen. We will take the yellow. So I'm not sure what happened there, but we will roll, re-rack them, and get right back to you. Just one moment. Getting ready to go back racing here. Green flag is in the air. We've settled in behind Kyle Larson. Those lap cars are on the inside. That's going to push the leaders out a bit. We're riding in 5th place, though. The leader is going to get clear of that lap traffic and set sail. We're sort of against the clock here. We can't afford to let these lappers hold us back too awful much, but they are down in there. As you can see, Paul Menard and was one of the retirees, as well as Casey Kane. We're going to get down to the bottom here and try to get under the 92 here and set sail behind Kyle Larson. See if we can get him inside turn 3 as well on these cooled down tires. We got a heat cycle in them now. Car starts to push up just a bit. We can't afford to go all the way out, but let's see if we can get inside the 42 once more. Brandon fighting hard in that bottom. Let's see if he can clear him, and Larson seems to get a little bit better drive off than we have right now. We can get him on corner entry for sure. Force Larson up just a bit there. Brandon washes out wide. So both of us are having a little bit of a trouble of keeping a hold of this racetrack, but I think we'll prevail here under Kyle Larson here. Nope, Larson still holds the top. Good drive off for Larson. We'll get inside him here, and we should be able to clear him. We're low, 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 and oh, Brandon with a hospital wobble. We're going to get by him. Wow, car broke free. So Brandon tried to put the power down, and it just spun on him. I think he's okay. He's back up to speed, but that was a little hairy of a moment, and it looks like he got out of the way of the racing line, and everyone is able to continue. But we have William Byron looking to our inside, really pressuring hard for 5th place. We are now in 3rd and setting sights in front of us here. The leaders are long gone for now. but it sort of looks like there's a lapper hanging tough there. Can't really see who that is, but if that lap car can hold that leader back, then more power to him for sure. As far as fast laps go, we are more than a half a second off the pace, so maybe a pit stop would not have been bad. But I'm thinking, whoa, what's up with Jimmy? Jimmy Johnson's slowing way down. I don't know if he has a cut tire or what, but that may bring out a caution here, especially if someone gets involved, and indeed, the caution flies for Jimmy Johnson. So we are going to be riding in second, and I think track position is way too important for us to pit now. So I will be right back with you for the restart. Coming down to the green, just about 7 miles of racing left, and Kyle Busch decided to pit for tires, which is very interesting. He had this race under control, but let's see if we can make the most of our lead here. We got clear of the lap traffic, and we can just set sail here, coming to 14 laps to go, just 7 miles left, and we have the 24 really pressuring us of William Byron. I don't know if we can hold off the 24. With the win this year, I don't want to really put that much pressure on. The tires are not quite there. William Byron does complete the pass. Let's not let him get away, though. We might be able to capitalize on a mistake if he makes one, but the car is just drifting up out of the racing line. I can't keep the car down. We have a challenge behind us as well, and I don't want to get myself across Kyle Larson's nose there, but he's definitely taking a look. We can get the good drive off just like he was, and it looks like William Byron is setting sail here. Laps are going to continue to tick away. We might need a yellow flag to sort of get him on a restart. Maybe we could get a cheeky finish out of this. I'm not going to give up hope yet. We have a solid top 5 run going here with a slim possibility of a win. I'm not calling it yet, but I just need these tires to come in, and I need this car to behave. And lap traffic may indeed be a factor here. With 11 laps to go, there is a very good chance we're going to continue to catch the back of the field once more, especially with some damaged race cars. David Gilliland has retired from the race, and Jimmy Johnson is now 2 laps down. A big hit in his championship endeavors, that is for sure. Let's see if we can get some drive off here and try to catch him. We're only 4/10 off of our fastest lap of the race, even 41 laps into a run. So we're wearing our tires pretty evenly, and I think it's just all about how we get into the turn. Now, the tires are starting to lock up just a bit. We don't have the stopping power we once had. We have to back up our turns just a bit, but we're less than 10 laps to go. And yellow flag is out, which means this is going to be a single file restart. And I don't think we have actually taken the yellow. No, we've taken the yellow. Okay, so we'll back out and roll around. We'll be behind William Byron, that is for sure. And we might be able to get him on this next restart. So I will be back with you when we go back green. Pace car is off. David Gilliland and Joey Logano have retired out of the race. Coming to green, there will be 3 laps to go. And my best chances here on the start. Green flag is in the air. Let's see if we can get under the 24. We can. Now, can we keep it down at the bottom? William Byron fights back hard on the outside car. Doesn't quite get the bite, but we've got the fender on him. Late braking in. We don't want to slide up here. We're sliding up just a touch. William Byron here. The car doesn't grip. We're gone. Around we go, and I believe we've crossed the line in 4th. Now, we're going to get that spot back if we can limp this car around in 2 laps' time. All right, let's let Kevin Harvick go by. We'll get back going here. And let's see if we can get our spot back. So, we've got some catching up to do, especially to get around these cars. Let's go as fast as I can around these guys. We're coming to 1 lap to go. They're under yellow, but I am, but I'm not technically. I need to get my spot back. There was our skid marks. I just could not hold the car down on corner exit there, coming to 2 to go. And yeah, we're on the last lap technically, and I need to get past all of these guys quick, fast, and in a hurry. I think we are behind, I think we are behind the 19. Let me just sort of roll by and see. Yeah, stay behind the 19. So we'll look over, make sure Suarez crosses the line, and we will cross the line. There we go. In 4th place. Not a bad way to finish a race, I must say. We tore up our stuff just a little bit, but a 4th place nonetheless, and William Byron is going to be your winner. Brandon came in 6th, so just missing the top 5 for Brandon, but a good recovery from his hospital wobble he had on corner exit. But William Byron will see himself into the championship playoffs. So not a bad run for the rookie. And once we're done here, we'll take a look at what brought out those cautions. So don't go anywhere just yet. We're going to see, well, we know what caused the last caution, but we don't know what caused the first couple. So we're definitely going to take a look at that here in a moment. And as you can see, only 10 cars finished on the lead lap. I think we were the ones that actually stayed out and did not pit. So there's the start of the race here. First yellow flag came out, win. Just going lap by lap. We managed to have a pretty decent run. There, the yellow flag came out, so it came out on this lap here. Let's get to a camera angle so we can see the lights. That way we can see the moment of caution here off of pit exit. And as soon as the yellow flag comes out there, we'll see who is all jacked up. Who is sideways. And there, the 32 of De Benedetto is all kinds of crazy. Let's see what happened to Matt De Benedetto. Kyle Busch happened to Matt De Benedetto. Yeah, Busch just laid into him. Spun him out coming down the straightaway. No worse for the wear for De Benedetto. Oh, hit by the 00 of Jeffrey Earnhardt. And he almost backed up into traffic again. So yeah, the 00 of Jeffrey Earnhardt getting knocked down to the bottom of the racetrack. Just could not move up without hitting Kyle Larson. Looks like he was able to continue, though. So let's go on ahead to the next yellow flag. We can see De Benedetto brought out the first one. Yellow flag was out there. Then the green flag. Going lap by lap. And there I saw Jimmy Johnson completely backwards. This was that time when Jimmy Johnson just slowed way down going into the turn. I believe it was going into turn 3. Johnson really slowed up. We were having a spirited battle with William Byron there on the inside, and all of a sudden, Jimmy just breaks to the left right here. We can squeeze by on the outside. Byron gets by, Truex gets slowed up, Brandon gets around, and he looks like he's having trouble figuring his life out. The yellow flag comes out and hit right there. Oh, and then the 2 of Brad Keselowski is going to give him a little tap, and around he goes. Yeah, poor Jimmy Johnson just stuck right there. And was he able to continue? He was. He got off pit road and got back out onto the racetrack. So good on you, Jimmy. Only going 2 laps down, having a Pretty messed up rear end there. Let's go to the next yellow flag here. And this was the one that lined me up right behind William Byron. And I believe that was that Stenhouse? Yeah, I saw Stenhouse down there on the bottom of the grass. So let's see what happened to Ricky Stenhouse here. He goes into the turn. Everything is looking fine. Must have been, oh, there was a big wreck. All right, so that was the one that the 23 and Joey Logano was in. And it looked like Hamlin got a piece of it too. Yeah, Hamlin was sliding sideways. This is where it ends. So the 32 is involved in several incidents today. The 11 real... Oh! It looks like Joey turned the 23 down into Denny and the 32 of De Benedetto. Very interesting indeed. And then we know what brought out the last caution. This is going to be me hanging on for dear life as I go crashing to the inside retaining wall, coming across the line. So here was myself and William Byron. I get a good run, slide up. Byron gives me a tap. Car breaks loose right there on the impact. I could not save it. Locked it up into the wall, and there I go across the line for 4th place. Oof. But let's take a look at the championship standings. William Byron has moved into 4th place with his 1 win this year, and a very tight battle for the 16th cutoff spot. It's actually tied between Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott, but Denny is ahead due to his 1 top 10 on the year, but don't count out those 2 cars behind him. AJ and Jimmy Johnson are tied, as well as Brad Keselowski within shouting distance, so still a very close race. But that's going to do it for me in this episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season. Ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week at the high-speed banks of Texas. Take care.